Hello, this is Lord's Legion yet again with a brand new Lord Speaks. And today I want to be discussing about the infamous Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. I think everyone knows by now that this cartoon has been complete and utter crap and everyone hates it. However, come season 4, things have been kinda changing, and in my opinion, things have been changing for the better. So here I'll be discussing why I think season 4 of Ultimate Spider-Man, or in other words, Ultimate Spider-Man vs. the Sinister Six, is a rather decent show now. Now just so we're clear, I am not saying that it's better than Spectacular or even the 90s cartoon, as I think both of these are better than this show, personally. However, I'm just gonna say that this show is currently being a rather decent show, so let's get on to it. So essentially, Nick Fury is missing, the Tricarrier is changed into Hydra Island thanks to Arnim Zola and Dr. Octopus, and so Spider-Man has a new base of operations in the form of the Triskelion in order to train the new heroes. The two bad guys, Arnim Zola and Dr. Octopus, tend to bring back Hydra, but the two end up having beef, and now Octavius wants to bail from Hydra and form his own group in the name of the Sinister Six once again. While Spider-Man continues to train the new heroes alongside his new Spidey mates, however they do end up bumping into this original Spider, the Scarlet Spider, who is an amalgamation between Kane and Ben Reilly. What's great about this series now is that they finally decide to be more ballsy and not be as predictable anymore. For instance, in the first episode of season 4, Dr. Octopus tries to turn Norman back into the Green Goblin again to recruit him for Hydra. However, Norman Osborn was one step ahead by having a cure beforehand, which making him completely immune to the Goblin formula. And in future episodes eventually became the Iron Patriot once again while battling the Iron Vulture, who is now an agent for Hydra unwillingly. We also get to have the return of the Ultimate Goblin as well as Miles Morales, who are now trapped into this dimension. Sandman returns once again and even has a redemption story this time around. Rhino eventually betrays Spider-Man into joining the Sinister Six only for his cure, but at the same time Rhino isn't fully irredeemable as of yet. Hydro Man is also introduced to join the Sinister Six. The Six eventually overpower our main heroes, and most importantly of them all, Scarlet Spider was the hidden 7th member of the Sinister Seven, and in doing so overpowered Spider-Man to the point of exposing his true identity in front of Dr. Octopus. Not only was this twist good even for this show's standards, but it was also something completely ballsy and new within the mythos of this universe. They did this last season with the Goblin and it did little to nothing to the story, and it was a crap move altogether. Not to mention his memory has been wiped, so he doesn't even remember his identity at all, which was making it even more redundant. But with this twist, they decide to take full advantage of it by having Dr. Octopus decide to wreak havoc onto Aunt May and then hitting Peter Parker from the inside. And that to me is the perfect way of making Dr. Octopus the true enemy of Spider-Man. Speaking of Scarlet Spider, many people are actually turned off over this character because he's just an amalgamation between the two Scarlet Spiders that came before. In my eyes, apart from him being edgy by calling everyone punks, I think this is a rather decent interpretation. He had his full characterization and his arc came full circle over the last episode of the Double Parter, which was to redeem himself by saving everyone from Doc Ock's plans, saving everyone from New York, but sacrificing himself in the process. And at one point even called himself Ben Reilly in the episode. Some people still complain about his costume choice, but I think that's meant to be his proto suit. While he'll probably in a future season or even a future episode, he'll probably come back as the Scarlet Spider from the 90s, while introducing another Scarlet Spider in the form of Kane wearing this costume. And also considering Doc Ock is still around in the second half of the season, knowing Peter Parker's identity, this will make everything all the more interesting. Although people still to this day bitch about his current look, I think this is pretty amazing considering it's meant to be based on Dan Slott's interpretation of Doc Ock in the End of Days story arc. And if you think all these fourth wall break gags still around, fear not, because they have used little to none of these chibi versions of Spider-Man at all. And not only that, even when he slows time and talks to people from the screens, even then it's used to make everyone recap on the main story, so it does have its purpose this time around. And it's also pretty nice to see them finally showing respect for some of these characters again and not really messing them up in many ways. Well, for the most part at least. At the end of the day, although Ultimate Spider-Man is by no means a flawless show, I do reckon that this show has potential of being a really great Spider-Man series that we've all been dying to see for a very long time now. They finally decided to focus on one story arc and stick with it throughout the season, instead of one random ass villain of the week format that they used in the first 3 seasons. And based on the amount of likes I got on one of the videos, many people tend to agree on me with this. And you know what, I'm actually glad I'm not the only person that thinks Ultimate Spider-Man is becoming a relatively good series now. So if you have enough time on your hands, I suggest you actually give this season a good look, because season 4 I think is pretty worth it and is far superior in comparison to the first 3 seasons. So are you considering on giving this another shot? Are you reluctant to give it another try? And if you are up to date on this series, what do you think of it so far? So this concludes my video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Take care guys and have a good one.